Today I'm looking at 3 core principles that are fundamental, absolute must for being a strong, better father for your children. Children you have now, children you're gonna have later, young kids, older kids, my kids are older. Doesn't really matter. I also am throwing in a 4th one that I'm really curious to know what you think about. And let me know in the comments what you think of all of these, but I think you will agree these are must-dos and things that I haven't really thought of that much, things I wish I would have done earlier. This is gonna be a good video. By the way, if you like this kind of content, check out the rest of the videos on my channel. I've changed directions. I'm pushing into a quest that I'm on to try to make myself a better, stronger man for my wife and my kids, and hopefully others like yourself. Check it out. Subscribe to the channel. Did you do it? Shoot, you haven't even subscribed. What? Why? All right, so before I get into the 3 core principles, real quick, I'm just gonna take like a minute. I know this might be boring to you, but I wanna talk a little bit about my dad. My dad grew up without a dad. His father died when he was very young, and so most of his life he spent without a dad. The older I get, the more I think about, dang, that would have been extremely difficult. I also think about the role that fathers play in their kids, and it is just absolutely, it is so crucial. I know that there's a lot of situations that can't be avoided out there where kids grew up without dads, and that's terrible. It's something that's been overlooked in our culture because it happens so much. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, this is a normal thing. It's not, it shouldn't be. It's dang. The role that fathers play in their kids' lives cannot be I mean, moms are somewhat important, whatever. The thing that's happening today is that the role of fathers is being thrown out. Like, we don't need men. That's women saying that, but women nowadays talk like that. We don't need men. Some women.
Smell it. What do you think?
Is it ripe? Feel if it's ripe or anything.
Not bad? Oh, it does?
My dad, still to this day, is one of the most encouraging people I've ever met, and he was that way my entire life. Anything I wanted to do, he would not only encourage me in it, he would do everything within his power to make it happen. He worked a very difficult job. He was a truck driver, and so drove for long periods of time. I could talk a long time about the work ethic he instilled in me and that he had himself. Because then on his days off, when he wasn't driving 18 hours a day in his truck and driving an hour each way to get to his truck to start driving for 18 hours, on the days off, he would cut wood. We all would. We cut firewood and sell it on the side. It was a side business my parents had. And they did that to earn extra money that they could put into what we were into. Growing up, it just seemed normal. That was just like, yeah, I guess this is what people do. And then you get older and you realize how rare that is to have a father who is, well, present in general, but also extremely encouraging, not just in words, but also in action, and going above and beyond to provide. And it's something that I think about a lot. I think from his perspective, I assume I should probably ask him. I think that he became the dad that he wished he had. And that is a sad thought as I think about it. He also took pride in what he did. He drove a truck and cut firewood. And he showed me that pride can and should be taken in providing for your family and working hard. I think he took pride in the fact that he was a dad, period. It's something he didn't have. Something that I don't appreciate enough because I had one. And I benefited from it in ways that I don't appreciate. He also showed an extreme level of love and support and just interest in our lives as kids. Like, he was not, even though he had to work a ton, he would spend so much time with us every chance he could. I mean, whatever we were into, he would be obsessed with that thing. I could go on and on about my dad and the influence he made in my life. But I realize that that's not why you're watching this video. So I'm gonna move on. But dang, I grew up extremely well because of the influence my dad made in my life and still does to this day. 3 core principles. I would be surprised if anybody comments and says, no, those are stupid. Let me know though if I left any out or if I was stupid in any of these. All right, first one, number 1 is lead by example. And to start, you must love your wife. Your wife, in my opinion, is the person you should focus on the most. The reason for that is you are an example to your boys or to your girl as to what a man should be, what a husband should be. For your daughter, you're hopefully showing her the kind of husband that you want her to find. You want to treat your wife the same way you want your husband to treat your daughter one day. And for your boys, you're hopefully showing them the way that you should act as a husband, the way that you should treat your wife, the way that you should lead your family. In that way, I believe that the relationship with your wife is the most important relationship you have in your world. And you should value and treat your wife with the utmost, I could go on and on about how you should treat your wife, but I think that for most of us, including myself, it's a relationship that we just kind of let run on autopilot. We don't give a lot of conscious thought onto how we can improve that relationship, how we can be better husbands for our wives. I think everything, as far as being a father, doesn't really start or end with your kids. It starts and ends with your wife. I think a father should be first and foremost an amazing husband. Number 2 is to give guidance your kids can see, not hear. I think I spent more time telling my kids what to do, using words rather than just showing them what to do. I work in the world of marketing, and there's this kind of rule, or there's this saying in marketing that is show, don't tell. There's some cases where you want to show your audience more than you want to tell your audience about something. I think that's extremely true with the relationship we have with our kids. Show them how to act. Don't just tell them all the time. This is especially true when you're dealing with difficult situations or difficult people. How you handle stress, how you handle arguments or disagreements with your spouse. Those are the times, more than any other times, that are most important to show instead of telling. Now, the 4th is not about your kids or your wife at all. It is all about you. I think to be a strong father, you've got to work on yourself. You have to spend time every day bettering yourself. Mind, body, spirit, relationships, all of those things need constant attention. And if you're not giving yourself adequate time, selfish time really, to focus on yourself, to make yourself better, to read books, to work out, to eat well, to think through problems and think through how you're handling situations and to really self-evaluate, you're never going to improve. And if you're never going to improve, I mean, unless you just were born the greatest person, the greatest man in the world. I mean, I was, and I still am trying to make myself better. I just think if you're not working on yourself, I mean, what are you expecting? You're expecting your kids to grow up and be better people than they are today, but you're not going to do that in yourself. If you want your kids to be better, to improve, to get to the next level, you want to be a better husband, a better father, it starts with you. I guess I said it starts and ends with the relationship with your spouse. It does for relationships, but really everything at its core starts and ends with you. You've got to make yourself better. Be more disciplined. Be disciplined, period. Eat better. Stop being fat. Get your finances together. All of those things takes work every day. And if that means you've got to get up 2 hours earlier, what? Your family's not worth it? Is extra 2 hours of sleep or 1 hour of sleep is more valuable to you than making, you know what I'm saying? You just quit being lazy is what I'm saying. What is your problem? Let me know in the comments, won't you? What you think about that. And I know I have that thing in my voice. It's like, oh, it's the end of the video. Time to click somewhere else. Please, if you would, give me 2 more minutes, 1 more minute, 30 seconds. I need your help, if you would, to get this channel to grow. YouTube doesn't want that. I think probably a lot of the content on here they're not a fan of. But I want to grow this channel. I have a lot of things I'm trying to do, but everything I'm trying to do starts with YouTube and building this audience and growing it. So if you could do everything that YouTube wants you to do, thumbs up the video, comment, share the video with everybody in the world if you can. I mean, if you know everybody in the world, that'd be awesome. And if you want to take it to the next level of joining the mission that I'm on to better myself, you can become a member of this channel for as little as I think like $3 a day. And you can also support the pursuits that I'm after with this channel to grow it through Patreon. The link is in the description below. I appreciate it so much. That's the end. Thanks for watching.